Hi everybody, welcome to day 2 of week 3 of your foundations program. It's our last pre-recorded video. At this point, it's starting to click, right? It's starting to make sense. What does it feel like for my glute to activate? What does it feel like to keep my core engaged when I'm moving in space? What does it feel like to keep my spine long? What does it feel like to just add all these things together? And on Saturdays, it starts to make more sense because you're really having to add all these things together when we're moving and we're grooving and we're doing the things, yeah? So today, all you need is your mat. We're gonna actually get off the floor today. We're gonna go against gravity. It's gonna be a little more difficult, but that's why it's the last day of the pre-recorded, because now you understand your firm foundation. You're grounded. You know how to press through your heel. You know how to keep your core tight. You know how to keep your glute engaged. Those are the things that help you be steady in the wind. Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna start in a downward dog actually. Before we get to the downward dog, let's properly get into a downward dog and get into all fours. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. Let's straighten out the right leg. Push a heavy box away from you. You know what to do. We've been here before. Okay, now straighten out your left leg. Hover the knee first. Step it back. You're in a plank. Push your hips up to the ceiling. Downward dog. Press your heels into the floor. Pressing away from your palms. Your head is in between your elbows. You're looking at your toes. You're looking at your knees, your legs. You can see everything. Okay, now press your heels hard into the floor. Now lift them up slowly. Press the heels down into the floor. Lift slowly. Down into the floor. Lift slowly. We're just getting a little stretch here. Down into the floor. Up slowly. Down into the floor. Bring your left leg off the floor. Hover it. Now bring it up to the ceiling by squeezing your glute. Bring your knee into your chest like you're doing that donkey kick we've been working on. And bring the knee all the way in towards your chest. I haven't changed anything else. Now shift your weight forward, press your hips to the floor as you take your right foot between your hands. Back leg is straight, left glute is squeezing. You're on your fingertips now, not your palms. Fingertips are touching the floor. Stomach is off your thighs. Dig into your right heel so hard, squeeze into your right glute so tight that your hands can hover and come on to your hips. Okay, now let's square the hips off. Push your left hip forward, pull your right hip back, step your left foot in 1 or 2 inches, a little hop to get there. Okay, now we're stable. Now push those hips forward, round the lower back, tuck, adjusting, 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 adjusting. Long, check. My rib cage is flaring, I don't want that, pull it in. Okay, now from here, we're gonna continue to work on that hinge. Ooh, I don't think you can see me. Let me bring this up a little bit. Boom. Yeah, is that better? Okay, so we're here. I hope you stayed where you were because I got you in perfect position. Okay, so from here, we're gonna work on the hinge we've been working on. Hips are going back. Hips are going back. Now you're just gonna isolate that right glute here. You have a light bend in your left knee to help you push that glute forward. I'm still digging into my right heel. I'm looking down at the floor. We did this on Tuesday. Now we're just gonna isolate one leg. Hips go forward. That left leg behind you kind of acts like a kickstand. Hips go back, hips go back, hips go back. Press your glute forward. Squeeze the glute forward. Good. Keep digging through that right heel. Shoulder blades are back. Core is engaged. You never lose that straight line in your spine. Ooh, my glute's loading up. Hips back, hips back, hips back. Hips forward, squeeze through the glute. We have 2 more on this side. When you finish, we're gonna stay up. The left leg's gonna go back super straight, okay? We have a light bend in it right now just for some support. Hips back, hips back, hips back, hips forward, forward, forward. Okay, stay here. Get a little longer through this glute, get taller to the ceiling. Back leg goes straight, hands at your hips. Hips are squared. Check in with everything. Lift your right heel off the floor. Push it back down like you're pressing a ball into the floor. Pop the ball into the floor. Lift. You're at the balls of your feet. So you have your toes, and then you have like where I have a bunion. So lift from where your bunion is. Where a bunion would be. That's where you're lifting and dropping. Keeping it long. Keeping it squared, looking forward. Maybe you bring your arms up overhead. Lift, pop the balloon. Lift, pop the balloon. Lift, pop the balloon. Stay up. Let's pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring the heel down. Bring your arms down to the floor. Step your right foot back. You're back in plank. Drop the knees down to the floor. Settle back, child's pose. Take a second. Okay, get back into all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips, no closer than that. Step your left foot back, push a heavy box away. Squeeze up your left glute, hover your right knee. Step your right foot back, perfect plank. Rib cage in, lower back rounded, hips go up, don't arch your back, just bring your hips up. Downward dog. Press your heels into the floor. Lift. Press the heels into the floor. Lift. Press the heels into the floor. Lift. Bring your left leg up to the ceiling by squeezing your glute. Bring your left knee into your chest. Don't shift anything yet. Now shift your shoulders in line with your wrist. Step your left foot forward. Dig into your left heel. Squeeze up your right glute, squeeze up your left glute. Hover the hands off the floor, hands to your hips. Square your hips forward, right hip back, left hip forward. Jump your your right foot 2 inches forward. Boop, right there. Adjust, square off, check in. Is your core engaged? Is your rib cage in? Are your shoulder blades back? Are you long and tucked? Good. Let's hinge. Hips go back. Look at the floor. Push the hips back. Good. Now push the hips forward from the left glute. Talk to that left glute. Imagine it. Visualize it going back. Visualize it going forward. Now I'm noticing my leg's just a little too far back, that right leg, so I'm gonna jump it in just a little bit. Boom. Okay. Adjusting my footing, and you keep going. You'll notice when you have to adjust. The moment you don't feel that left glute on, stop and find it. Do what you need to do. Dig into the left heel more. Think more about the range of the hip rather than you trying to take your shoulders to the floor. Getting lost in it. Finding your control. You'll notice I keep putting my hand like on my stomach. That's just to teach me to not push my stomach out. I also have my left hand on my booty cheek, my left booty cheek, to teach it, hey, you're the one working here. You're the one that's gonna get me up. A little adjusting. For me, I'm realizing my left leg is a little weaker than my right. Ooh, so I'm going to pay a little more attention to it and see what it needs. Okay, let's do 2 more. I'm feeling the top of my center glute really, really on here. How about you? Ooh, I'm shaking. Last one. Pull it through from the glutes. Adjust where you need to. Get long. Lift the left heel. Pop a balloon. Lift the heel. Pop. Lift. Pop. Lift. Pop. Keep going. How's everything else? Are you engaged? Lift the heel up, stay up, pulse. 5, 4, 3. Hands to the floor, drop it down, step the left foot back. Hold. Now take your right foot, bring it outside of your right hand. Left foot, outside of left hand. Drop your glutes down to the floor. You're in a Malasana squat. You're here with it. Holding. Hands go into the center of your chest. Proud chest. Dig into your heels so hard. Squeeze through your glutes to get you up. Good. I'm going to come at an angle for you so you can see. Dropping down to the floor. Remember that straight line in the spine. Straight line in the spine. Squeeze through the glutes. Dig through your heels. Come back up. Lower down with control. Squeeze through the glutes. Press through the heels. What are you noticing? Right now, my thighs are on fire because we just did so much thigh work and glute work. But for me, I'm noticing that it's kind of hard for me to keep my spine long. The first thing my spine wants to do is just kind of dump forward to help me. But we're gonna make sure we don't do that. We stay long. We stay aware that the body's gonna wanna do the thing that's comfortable and easier, but we don't allow it. Yeah, we know that this is better for us. A lot of things in life, the harder stuff is usually better for us, right? I don't know why God made it that way, but He did. Well, there's a lot of reasons, but to teach us that our flesh likes to take the easy route. But good things take time. Good things take discipline. Good things take sacrifice. Can you go slower than me? I know you want to speed through this. It is slow. Two more. And you can keep pushing your knees out too. Push them out. It's going to help you. Last one. Now keep your feet where they are. Don't change them up. I'm just going to change myself up so you can see me. Stay where you are. Okay. So you're here with it, right? We're going to go into more of like a ballet stance. I forgot what this is called. I think it's a plie. Don't quote me. But we're going to go down into that squat. As you come up, squeeze your right thigh into your left. Scoop, squeeze. Make one leg. Step it out, down. Now squeeze the left into the right. Heels come together. You're in a position 3. So toes are pointing out. Again, don't quote me. I think it's a position 3. Heels together, toes apart. Step it out. Drop. Squeeze. In. Step out. Drop. Squeeze in. You use your inner thighs like they're suction cupped into each other. Super glue in them. into each other. Down, squeeze. Use the tightening up of your glutes and your thighs to get down and up. Long through your spine, shoulder blades back. Let me show you from a different direction so you can see. I am not sending my hips back. I am just straight spine, straight spine, straight spine, straight spine. It doesn't change. I have my toes still out. That way I don't have to change my toes. I'm just out, in, keep going. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2, up. Add the arms. 1, 2, up. 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 Keep it going. That pace doesn't change. Focus on the inner thighs squeezing. Oop. Focus on the core engaged. Focus on the neck long. Shoulders back. Rib cage in. Belly button in. Everything engaged. Everything focused. 20 seconds. We're gonna go down to the floor soon. You got 15 seconds left. Squeeze the thighs, intentional. Don't just move. Do something about the movement. Squeeze, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Okay, let me just fix this camera because we're coming down to the floor. Boop. We're good? That looks good? I think so. All right. Okay, down to the floor. Let's do a little bit of arm work. Now, for the last 3 weeks of this challenge, of this program, of this guide, we're doing full body. And arms, sometimes they get a little confusing. I feel like core down is more complicated. But there's something to learn about how your elbows do the movement, but they are not what's doing the work. So say I want to do a bicep curl, right? We're doing this. You can sit back and drink water as I show you this and explain this. So shoulders are pulled back, chest, pull your boobies up, rib cage in, we're curling. Now I'm doing this curl because my elbows are bending, but I'm thinking of the muscle I want to use. So wrists are locked up, curling by the elbows bending, extending, elbows bend, extend. Elbows bend, elbows extend. In order to work the muscle that you want to work, that you're intending to work, you have to fully stretch it first. So that full lengthening needs to happen. We're not just going halfway. This isn't really doing much. Fully lengthen the muscle out, stretch the bicep out to then work it, to then contract it. So we stretch to contract and work. Stretch to contract and work. So it's very important that we do the full range. If I'm doing tricep, work, stretch it. Now I'm pulling it straight. Then I work it. Then I pull it all the way down and straight. Everything's happening from that elbow still. I'm bending from the elbow, extending from the elbow. Now something that's important is when all those things are moving and we're isolating, we still need the trunk active, right? We still need the shoulders back. We still need the chest proud. We still need the rib cage in and the glutes tight. Then I can add all of this to it. I can add this. I can add this, but this did not change. I didn't flare out. I didn't get loose with it. I stayed proper in my trunk. The tree trunk doesn't change. It stays through the rainforest. It stays through the hurricane. It stays through the tornado. It stays when everything else moves around it, yeah? Something that's also important is this, thinking of squeezing from your armpits, pulling your armpits back and down, almost like squeezing those shoulder blades together. So it's not this hiked up, it's pull it back and long. Pull your rib cage down and in, back, tall, long, not in, yeah? So think of that book on your head, pull it back, and we're long, yeah? Okay, so that doesn't change no matter what we do. We can sit on our knees for this. We're gonna start with just a regular arm straight. Think of a T arm. So T, you just made a T with your arms. You're out. As you're out here, we're not out. You're active. Squeeze from underneath your armpits. Pull your arms away from you. Someone has your wrists on both sides and they're trying to pull you into two directions. You do that. Push, 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 push. Lengthen. Long through the neck. Let's start to make circles. Tiny dime-sized circles. Remember we were doing this one and we were making those tiny little circles with the legs? Think of the same with the arms, but keep that feeling of someone pulling you out. So you're still getting pulled out, but you're making circles at the same time. Keep pulling out, making those circles. Keep pulling out, long through the neck. Keep pulling out. Keep pulling out. Keep pulling out. Good. You're gonna start to feel your shoulders load up. You're gonna start to feel your arms burning. That doesn't mean we stop. Unless your form is wrong, that's when you stop. But if the form is not wrong, go, go, go. Good. Long, adjust. My neck was getting shorter. I was starting to get my traps to do this. If you have really tight traps, they're gonna do that. This is where I hold all my tension. So be really aware of your body. Where do you hold tension? And don't let it happen. I'm gonna kind of shake it out. Okay, stop traps. Squeeze from underneath your armpits. Long through the neck. Pull your arms away. Circle, circle, circle. Keep going. I got a messed up right shoulder, so I'm gonna pull it down. What do you have to do? What do you feel your body trying to do? That is not what you want it to do right now. You're in charge. Bring it back, circle back, circle back, circle back, circle back. Proud chest, long neck. Pull your traps down. Whoo! Yeah, baby. Keep pulling your arms out. You're getting yanked in two directions for 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Yeah, so we're gonna think of that pulling sensation, even when you do curls. Pull out of your body. Pull, curl, pull, curl. Triceps. You see, we're growing out of the body everywhere that we go. Okay, one more thing with the upper body. You're gonna have your arms into like a W position like this. Yeah? My legs are kind of killing me, so I'm gonna stand up. So you're in that W position, kind of, right? Like one, you got a W here. Now from here, tiny inch, centimeter movement. You're growing out of the body, ready? It's coming from the elbow, the forearm pushes out. From the elbow, extend, push out. I don't want to see this. Tiny, 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 tiny. This is where we get those tiny little muscles surrounding everything else to fatigue and shake and break down. You'll be really surprised. The smaller the movement, the more it hurts. Here, pull the shoulders back, rib cage in. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. It's small, it's controlled, it's tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Now with the same idea of tiny, keep it frozen. Let's bend the elbows in towards us 1 inch. You see that? Now I'm just trying to kind of squeeze in towards me, but it's small. Small, 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 small. Keep it little. Long. Shoulders back. Traps back. Rib cage in. I gotta adjust as I work. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Hold. Go back to the W, going up, up, up and out, up and out. Little inches, tiny inches. I'm going, whoo. Do I make sense right now? Oh my gosh. Who am I? Okay, tiny, small. Hold it. Now go in towards you. Tiny, 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 tiny. Small movement. Shoulders are burning, triceps are burning, biceps are burning. Whatever. Cool, cool, cool. Keep going. Whew. 5, 4, 3. I don't care if it burns. 2, hold. Take it out, 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 out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, release it. Oh my gosh, my arms. Okay, now let's stand on the knees for the last move of today. Standing on the knees, take your right leg out to the side. You're on the corner of your foot, so you have your toes flexed towards you. Hips are pressed forward, rib cage, lock it in, belly button, lock it in. I'm going to reach my arms up overhead. Think of ballerina arms. Now don't change the position of this ballerina arm, just lift it up overhead. I'm going to take this left oblique to turn on, coming over to the side. I pull from this left oblique to come up. Now as I'm doing this right leg needs to stay solid. This is my firm foundation. I am pressing through my heel. I am squeezing through this right glute. I am long, and that doesn't change. From the hip down, nothing changes. Pulling up. I drop from here. I lift from the right oblique. Drop from the left, pull from the right. Drop from the left, pull from the right. I am squeezing both my booty cheeks. So right now, right glute is squeezing. To get up, left and right glute squeezes. You use the glute on the side that you're using. So right now, I'm dropping my body down. My right glute has to take over. As I come up, my left glute takes over. And you notice it. Notice how when you squeeze one glute or the other, it helps. Squeeze to control, squeeze to control. Notice the right oblique on. You feel a pinch here, you feel a burn here. Good. That's what we're looking for. Notice where you're putting your weight on your left knee. Sometimes you put too much weight on the top of your knee here and it's going to hurt. Can you shift your weight back a little bit so it's more on your shin? Take more weight on your shin. From the left oblique, right oblique, left oblique, drops, right oblique, lifts, drop from here, lift from here. You're going to start to feel this right hip open up too. That's good. 5. Ooh, my right leg is shaking. 4, 3. Do you see that? 2, and 1. Let's do the other side. Okay, other side, shake it out. Back on the knees, straighten out the left leg, point the toes towards you, you flex towards you. Long, pull my boobies back. Everything long, engaged, rib cage, are you in? Belly button, are you in? Hips, are you tucked? And forward, arms are long. Glute is tight. I have too much weight on the top of my knee, so I'm just gonna shift back a little bit, round the lower back. I feel a stretch in this right hip. Beautiful. Right hip goes down. Pull from the right oblique. The left oblique, excuse me. Right oblique down. Left oblique pulls me up. Left glute controls me to go down. Right glute controls me to come up. Left glute controls me to come down. Right glute controls me to come up. Pull the shoulder blades back. Breathe. Get lost in the feeling. Looking for the feeling. Finding control through the feeling. Try not to sink to the floor, you're tall. Last 3. Last 2. Don't go faster than me. Last 1. Yay! Oh my goodness. Okay, we're done. Great work, everybody. Beautiful work. Okay, so those are the basics. We're done. Pre-recorded is done. Now it's just live doing the work. Take notes. If you haven't already, maybe go back and watch some of the videos and like things that didn't really make sense. Go back and like try to understand them again and try to perfect them. Really perfect the understanding of a hinge motion, perfecting the feeling of your body pressing into the floor when we're doing core work. What does it really feel like for your glutes to be on? What does it feel like to press through your feet? And why do we press through our feet? Ask yourself the why. Why are we doing this? Why is this important? And then put it into practice. Why is it that when I press my heel, I can feel my glute more? Why is it when I engage my core more, I feel more stable? Why do we do these tiny little things? There's a reason to all of it. We don't just do things to do things, right? But great work. I'll see you in the chat. Any questions that you have, and then I'll see you on Saturday. Starting week 4, they're all live. Yeah, so one thing about that, I've been mentioning it in the chat, but they are going to be live. This is pre-recorded right now, so we haven't decided on a time yet, but hopefully in the morning it's going to be the best thing for all of us. If you can't make it, I'm going to send the pre-recorded video, the on-demand, what is it? It's a live video that we put on demand for about 2 days. Yeah? 2 days. I don't want you waiting any longer than that because then you're going to fall behind. And I want to keep you accountable to stay connected with the group, right? So you have 2 days from the day that I send the link to complete it. But yeah, great work. Any questions that you have today, let me know. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see y'all. Mwah. Great work.